Okay. So earlier this week, the government issued some new plans, and what it suggested, and it used the word, it wanted to modernise the way that young people could access information, advice and guidance. And what they term, or in modernisation, what that term means, is about using things like Facebook and YouTube and having blogs and things like that and other social networking sites. So who uses anything like Facebook?
I do.
I do.
Yeah? What are the kind of things that you use Facebook for at the moment?
Chat with friends.
Chinwagon.
Chinwagon? Just with friends?
Yeah.
Looking at people's pictures.
I find that I go on it to get events.
Yeah?
Alright.
What about things that are happening in your area? Or
Yeah.
just kind of
Well, like Great Yarmouth and...
Yeah, well, no, because I'm obviously older, so like I get to find out about different nightclubs I go to as well.
Okay. And who uses things like YouTube?
I use
Music. Yeah.
Music.
Funny.
Okay,
comedy, football.
Sometimes to do stuff like schoolwork, because in science we have to watch videos about like medical things.
It wasn't for smart people.
So it sounds as though you use YouTube for slightly different things as you would for Facebook?
Yeah.
Totally different.
So is it more entertainment and resource based? Yeah? And what about other kind of things like blogs? Does anyone...
I don't.
No.
I didn't get...
On Twitter, but that's more for old people to follow people around.
Yeah, I use Twitter, but that's from work. I don't use it at work.
No? So in terms of what the government have actually said around being able to provide young people with information and advice through this kind of means, do you think that there are any opportunities to do that?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You get Facebook
Definitely.
fan pages and stuff. Well, not fan pages, Facebook groups. And you can become a fan. If you become a fan, then you can send newsletters and events and notifications on what's new and stuff.
And do you think that would be a good way if you were then able to kind of send that on to your friends if you thought it
Definitely.
You can ask your friends whether they want to join.
I'd be exactly friends.
Big connections friends?
And your friends will like to ask you about it as well.
Yeah, but sometimes I go on people's pages and those and see what's on their page, and if I like it, I'll add it.
Yeah?
So that's what people
with the new
do.
Facebook. Snap.
And people can send causes to people and stuff. Like.
So would it be more about advertising events that were actually happening for young people that you'd want to hear about?
Yeah, because if not, you don't hear about it.
No, you don't. They don't really advertise it as much.
Okay. So what about maybe some of the more personal issues that maybe some young people face? Do you think that it's a good avenue to be able to either engage with another sort of professional that could help young people, or do you think that it's not?
No, they should put for that they should put notifications on people's pages, send them links and stuff. But if they actually want help personally, I'll just give them a number or a page to go on. You can't do it through Facebook because that's invading people's privacy.
So do you see...
That all depends on the person though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so on Facebook you can do it through private, you don't have to publicise everything.
Yeah.
Like you can send it through private messages, you haven't got to put it straight on their page so everyone can see it.
So maybe do you think, in terms of sort of balancing out between what the two of you said, do you think it might be that you look to have an option so that young people, if they need that extra support, know someone that they can get in contact with and then interact with them through any of those?
Yeah, I think that'd be good though if you'd done all the events on Facebook and all the personal and more, I don't know, serious-y issues on your website.
And what are the kind of things that you think that young people would be willing to talk to, sort of like an advisor through an online facility? What are the kind of issues that you think young people would feel comfortable about discussing in that way?
It was like, I don't know, hidden, so if they didn't have to know it was them, they'd probably ask loads more questions about it. Sort of thing.
So if you were able to keep it anonymous in a certain way, that you think that people would feel a lot more open? So do you think that's the sort of the second closest way to getting face-to-face sort of feedback from someone? And do you think, in terms of obviously putting all of these things on websites, not everyone obviously has a computer at home, and do you think that presents any issues for young people?
No, because
most young people do have internet, and they're the young people who...
They go to the libraries.
Yeah, because I go to the library.
Yeah.
I don't.
So you definitely think this is a good area for
Yes.
us?
Yeah.
Because that's where it makes sense. Like if you sent, say, me an event and she didn't have a computer, I could tell her and add her onto my event. So that's an easy way as well.
So in terms of like, we've obviously spoken sort of like earlier over the last few days about who was involved in the discussion that we had around activities that there are to do in Norfolk. Yeah, so you
I think,
and some of the things that we were sort of saying is that we either looked at what we liked doing, or sometimes part of the issue was we didn't know what was happening in the area. Do you think this is a good way of trying to promote a bit more of what's happening?
Because I think they only have things like events and stuff like people's parties or something. But if you have something like that, an organisation doing, then you become much more into what you're going to do.
Just miss like things, or you hear about them afterwards.
Yeah, like I was saying to Andy that you should have something like on your page, so you've got an area, the Great Yarmouth, probably wherever your connection centres are, and you can click on, and then whatever's going on in that area should come up, so people from that area should pass on to whoever's doing the website.
Okay, and one other issue that we spoke about in that activities bit was about we recognised that there were some barriers to young people, especially if it was around confidence or the first time that they were going to somewhere. Do you think that being able to put things on Facebook or YouTube, say like videos of either what's available or actually like young people like yourselves kind of talking about what's happening in their area, do you think that that would help other?
Yeah, because if you go on the events page and you see who's attending and who's not, you'll see your friends. If they've attended, you can. If not, you can tell them, ask them where they want to come or not, and you can attend to it.
Yeah, it makes you feel more confident about it, because you think, oh, well, they're doing it as well, so it's not like it's weird or anything.
Okay, so in terms of if obviously connections at the moment are looking at, we've got a Facebook page which I think Luke took you through earlier this week, didn't it? And sort of showed you a bit about what we were looking to do. So in terms of progressing that, is that the kind of thing that you would be interested in helping us?
Because the videos you put on YouTube, you can put on Facebook as well.
Okay, so one of the things that, who knew before coming away that you could actually input to how Connections works before this?
No.
I didn't know.
At the same time.
We hardly even knew about connections. They didn't advertise at our school.
So do you think, say for instance, what we could do is we could put some of this video footage and, you know, some of your photographs from the last few days on there, and if we could get either several of you to kind of write some comments or put together something about the experience that you've had to try and encourage other young people to take part. Do you think that would be a good idea?
I think that'd be good.
Because that's easier to listen to people that are around your own age than it is to listen to adults.
And why do you think it's a good? It's important for young people to have a say.
Because they know more about what you're talking about, because you can't talk about adults about GCSEs or anything. Because they have completely different set. They didn't even have GCSEs.
I didn't even do my GCSE, so I can't really say about that. But then you've got people that don't get on in school and people that do get on in school, so not everyone's the same. So it's good if you get people with mixed experiences.
So it just demonstrates that everyone can kind of have their say regardless. Yeah. Okay. So, in principle, what do you say? Like we said earlier about what the government's new plans were. So, in principle, do you think that that's a good plan?
Yeah.
You'd like to see more other sort of organisations doing similar things?
Yeah.
And what are the certain things? Oh well, if there are any things that we certainly shouldn't do.
It's the way forward.
Well, I just heard one thing earlier about sort of like you don't want it to feel too invasive over sort of anyone's personal space and things like that.
Yeah, I don't think it should be like constant.
No, I just think like with Facebook, that's the only thing that should come onto your page is when there's an event, because everything else stays on your page.
Anything else if you're saying, oh yeah, you've got an STI and you put it on their page, it'd be really embarrassing. So that should be different.
Yeah, but you shouldn't really go on two connections for STIs, really, should you?
No, but like you can ask them about like.
No, I know what you mean.
It's any matter that you're kind of having an issue
but that
with,
age,
we can help you get advice and professional sort of guidance. You're right. But would it be important for you to know where you could go when you're finding out about events and things? If you had an issue that you wanted to talk to someone about, is it important that we kind of promote the services that we offer through that kind of facility? Okay, so it sounds as though you think the government's plans are good ones.
Yeah. Well, some of their plans.
That's fine. But this one is a good one, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.